Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a loop, running in circles but never really getting anywhere? The world moves fast, and sometimes it feels like we're constantly trying to catch up, but no matter how hard we try, the finish line seems just out of reach. You look around and see others getting ahead, achieving their dreams, and you wonder, what am I doing wrong? Why am I always falling short? If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. This feeling of stagnation is something that many of us face in today's fast-paced world. We're constantly bombarded with messages that tell us we need to be better, faster, more successful, but no one ever tells us how to make those changes. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the noise, the expectations, and the pressure to keep moving forward. But here's the truth. Without a clear path, without actionable steps, success will always feel elusive. This isn't just about motivation or hard work. It's about having a method, a system, and a plan that works. It's about understanding that no matter how many setbacks you face, you can turn things around if you start by changing the way you approach your goals. What you need isn't just more effort, it's a strategy. You need to stop chasing success without direction and start walking a path that is designed for progress. What if I told you that everything you've been struggling with, all the doubts and confusion, could be resolved with one simple shift? What if I told you that there is a proven formula for success that anyone can follow? Yes, you heard that right. A formula that doesn't rely on luck or external factors, but on clear, deliberate action steps that can be followed every single day. And I'm about to show you exactly how to use it. But before we dive in, let me ask you this. Are you ready to commit to a new way of thinking? Are you truly prepared to leave behind the uncertainty and frustration and embrace a path that leads to real, lasting success? If your answer is yes, then you're in the right place. Welcome to Success Lesson, a place where real transformation happens. In the next few minutes, we will lay out a simple yet powerful 4-step strategy that has been proven to work time and time again. This isn't just theory. This is a practical guide that you can start applying today. Now, I want you to imagine this. You wake up tomorrow and everything feels different. Your goals no longer seem out of reach. You know exactly what to do next. There's no more confusion, no more wasted time. You have a clear plan and a sense of purpose that drives you forward, no matter what obstacles come your way. This is what true success feels like, and it's possible for you if you know how to take the first step. But here's the kicker. Success isn't going to just fall into your lap. You can't wait around for the perfect opportunity or the perfect moment. If you're waiting for the right time to start, let me tell you, that time is now. The truth is, if you don't act today, you'll keep waiting forever. You'll keep telling yourself that you'll start tomorrow, next week, or next month. But the truth is, tomorrow never comes. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to take that first step. So, how do we break this cycle? How do we stop waiting and start doing? The answer lies in knowing exactly what you want and building a clear, actionable plan to get there. It starts with understanding what success really means to you. Not what society says, not what your friends say, but what you personally want to achieve. Once you have that clarity, the rest of the journey will follow. Now, I want to ask you a simple question. What would happen if you took control of your own success? What if you could stop feeling like life is happening to you and instead start shaping your own destiny? You have the power to make this change. And it all begins with one decision, the decision to stop waiting and start doing. If you're feeling the spark of curiosity, the desire to know more, then stick with me. In the next few minutes, we will break down the exact steps that will help you move from where you are now to where you want to be. These aren't just vague suggestions. These are real, actionable steps that have worked for countless people, and they can work for you too. But before we dive into those steps, I need you to do one thing. Hit that subscribe button and join the Success Lesson community. By subscribing, you're making a commitment to yourself to stop letting life pass you by and to start taking control of your future. Every week, we'll share valuable insights and strategies that will help you unlock your full potential and achieve your dreams. This is your chance to be part of a community that is dedicated to success. So, are you ready to stop waiting for success to find you? Are you ready to take the first step toward the life you've always dreamed of? If the answer is yes, then keep watching. The journey begins now, and you won't want to miss the next steps. This part of the script has been carefully crafted to build curiosity, engage the viewer with a compelling question, and hook them into continuing with the rest of the content. It's designed to stir emotions and offer a clear promise of what the viewer will gain by watching the entire video. It also includes a strong call to action to subscribe and join the community, ensuring that the viewer feels a sense of urgency and excitement about the content. When it comes to success, one of the biggest mistakes many of us make is thinking that simply working harder or wishing for better circumstances will get us there. We are constantly chasing a better version of ourselves, but without a clear target, we only end up wandering in circles. The path to achieving anything meaningful begins with a single crucial step: defining exactly what you want. This is not just about having a vague sense of desire or a dream you hope to achieve someday. It's about setting a clear, actionable, and measurable goal that will guide all your actions. Too many people struggle with their goals because they don't know what they truly want. They say, "I want to be successful, but what does success look like for you?" Without clarity, you will waste energy on countless tasks that won't move you closer to your desired outcome. The first step is knowing what success means for you and what you are working towards. Whether it's a career milestone, a personal achievement, or a financial goal, you must identify it specifically. Only then will you be able to make decisions, take actions, and set priorities that will bring you closer to that goal. It's easy to get distracted by the demands of daily life. We often let ourselves be pulled in different directions by urgent but insignificant matters. We forget to focus on what really matters to us. But think about it. How can you reach a destination if you don't even know where you are going? Imagine trying to drive somewhere without a map or GPS. You would waste so much time, energy, and fuel only to end up lost and frustrated. This is what happens when we don't define our goals clearly. We end up scattered, tired, and overwhelmed with no sense of progress. That's why the first step is vital: identifying and setting a goal that is specific and meaningful to you. Take a moment to reflect on what you truly want. Ask yourself, what would make me feel fulfilled? What do I want to look back on and be proud of? Maybe you want to start your own business, lose 30 pounds, or write a book. Whatever it is, write it down. This process of putting your goal into words will give you the clarity and motivation to pursue it with focus. Once you've defined your goal, it's time to break it down into manageable steps. This is where many people falter. They have a big, ambitious goal, but they don't know how to break it down into daily actions. If your goal is too vague or large, you'll feel overwhelmed and unsure of where to begin. But breaking your goal into smaller, actionable steps will give you a clear path forward. If your goal is to lose weight, for example, instead of simply saying, "I want to lose weight," break it down into smaller, actionable steps. I will exercise 3 times a week. I will eat 5 servings of vegetables each day. And I will reduce my sugar intake. Each of these steps is actionable and measurable, so you'll have a clear sense of progress as you move forward. Moreover, it's essential to set a timeline for your goal. Without a deadline, a goal remains just a dream. A timeline gives you a sense of urgency and helps you stay on track. It also allows you to measure progress and adjust your actions as needed. If your goal is to get fit, set a date for when you want to see measurable results, such as in 3 months or 6 months. This way, you can track your success and stay motivated. Creating a clear and actionable plan is only the beginning, though. The real challenge comes when it's time to take consistent action. It's easy to get excited about a goal at the beginning, but the excitement wears off when the effort required becomes more demanding. Consistency is the key to achieving any goal. Without it, the plan you've created becomes useless. You need to take action every single day, even when you don't feel like it. Consistency is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who fall short. Think about it. Imagine trying to build a house. You start with a blueprint, but if you only build part of the house, it will never be complete. Similarly, even if you have the best plan for success, you must take action daily to build that plan. Whether it's working on your business, exercising, writing, or learning something new, it's the daily actions that compound over time and lead to real success. To help you stay consistent, it's important to create a routine. A routine makes your actions automatic and removes the need for motivation. Motivation can be fleeting, but a well-established routine becomes a habit. You don't need to rely on willpower to get started every day. The routine becomes your driving force. It's important to build a habit of taking action toward your goal every day. This doesn't mean working nonstop, but even small actions, like writing 200 words a day if you want to write a book, or making sure you eat a healthy meal for lunch every day, can add up over time. Another aspect of goal setting is accountability. It's easy to let yourself off the hook when you don't have anyone to answer to. This is why sharing your goal with someone or tracking it publicly can increase your chances of success. When you make yourself accountable, it forces you to take the necessary actions even when you don't feel like it. Whether it's telling a friend about your goal or using an app to track your progress, having accountability ensures that you stay on track. Lastly, don't forget to adjust as you go. Life isn't always predictable, and circumstances can change. If you find that something isn't working, or if obstacles arise, don't be discouraged. Instead, adjust your plan, change your tactics, and keep moving forward. Flexibility is important in achieving any goal because life is rarely a straight path. By remaining adaptable, you can continue to make progress despite setbacks. Setting clear, actionable goals is not just about identifying what you want. It's about creating a clear, actionable roadmap to make it happen. It's about breaking your big dreams into small, achievable steps, staying consistent with your efforts, and holding yourself accountable. When you commit to this process, you'll begin to notice that you're no longer drifting through life. You'll have a purpose, a direction, and a plan. And that plan will lead you to success. At the end of the day, success isn't just about working harder or hoping things will get better. It's about creating a vision, breaking it down into manageable actions, and consistently following through. When you do this, nothing can stop you. Your success is in your hands, and it all starts with defining exactly what you want and taking the first step today. So ask yourself, what do I really want, and how am I going to make it happen? The journey starts now. This part of the script takes a deep dive into the practicalities of setting clear goals and taking action toward them, emphasizing the importance of defining your goals, creating actionable steps, consistency, and accountability. It's designed to inspire the audience to take control of their own success and to apply these principles in their own lives. There's a saying that goes, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." These words couldn't be more relevant to the journey you're on and to anyone who has ever faced the overwhelming feeling of wanting to give up. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned or when your progress seems slow. In fact, most of us have been there, feeling like the harder we try, the further we fall behind. But here's the truth you must hold on to. Failure is not the end of the road. It's merely a detour, a redirection. In our world today, where everything is expected to happen quickly, we often forget that the most successful people didn't get to where they are by avoiding failure. They got there because they kept going despite it. Failure isn't a signal to stop. It's an invitation to learn, to grow, and to get stronger. It's the test that separates those who truly desire success from those who are merely intrigued by it. The reality is that every successful person you admire has encountered failure countless times. But it's the way they responded to it that made all the difference. The path to achieving your goals will always be riddled with challenges. But here's the secret. The obstacles you face aren't barriers. They're opportunities for growth. Think about the times when you faced difficulties. You might have felt like you were at your lowest point, unable to go any further. But then something shifted. You found a way to push through. Perhaps it was a deep internal strength you didn't know you had, or perhaps it was the belief that you could still get back on track, no matter how far off course you had veered. It's in those moments of struggle that the greatest lessons are learned. And it's in those moments that you build the resilience necessary to keep moving forward. This is where the power of perseverance comes into play. When you face a setback, it's easy to get caught up in negative emotions, frustration, anger, fear, or even embarrassment. It's normal to feel disheartened, but don't let those emotions dictate your actions. The key to success is understanding that failure doesn't define you. Your response to it does. Each time you choose to continue in the face of adversity, you develop something more valuable than any victory, a mindset of persistence. The more you persist, the more you strengthen your ability to bounce back, to adapt, and to overcome. The most successful individuals are often those who have experienced the most failures. They've seen what it feels like to lose, to doubt, and to wonder whether they'll ever achieve their dreams. But the difference between them and those who give up is that they chose to rise each time. They understood that setbacks weren't permanent, they were simply part of the process. The journey to success isn't linear. It's a series of twists and turns, triumphs and setbacks. What matters most is that you keep moving forward. The resilience you build from failure isn't just about bouncing back from setbacks. It's about learning from them. Each failure is a stepping stone to something greater. It's a chance to reevaluate your approach, to refine your methods, and to sharpen your resolve. You will undoubtedly make mistakes along the way, but those mistakes are often the most valuable teachers. They show you where you need to improve, what you need to change, and most importantly, they reveal your inner strength. We often think of success as a destination, an end point we reach once we've achieved our goal. But true success is about the journey. It's about who you become while chasing your dreams, not just about reaching the finish line. The person who emerges from the other side of failure is far stronger, wiser, and more capable than the one who never faced any adversity. Every challenge, every failure, every setback adds to your character, and it is this growth that ultimately leads you to success. So the next time you face a failure, I want you to remember this: you are not your failures. They do not define you. They are simply experiences that offer you the opportunity to grow, to learn, and to improve. The true measure of your success isn't how many times you fail, but how many times you choose to rise. Every time you stand back up, you get a little closer to your goals, and you become a little more prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. It's not enough to want success. You have to be willing to do the work, to fail, to grow, and to keep going, even when it feels impossible. Success is not about avoiding failure. It's about how you deal with it. The person who can persist through hardship, who can keep their eyes on the prize even in the face of adversity, is the one who will succeed in the end. And here's the reality: life isn't easy. We all go through difficult times. But if you can learn to embrace failure as a part of the process, you will find yourself moving closer to your goals, step by step, day by day. It's the perseverance that matters. Success is the culmination of every choice you make to rise above the challenges, to stay true to your vision, and to keep going when the road gets tough. In the end, success is not about never failing. It's about having the courage to keep going, even when failure seems inevitable. It's about having the strength to persist, the humility to learn from your mistakes, and the resilience to keep striving toward your goals. When you embrace failure as a natural part of the process, you free yourself from the fear of it and can instead focus on your growth, your learning, and your eventual success. Remember, it's not how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up that truly defines your journey. So, keep going. The road may be long and filled with obstacles, but with each step forward, you are becoming the person capable of achieving everything you've ever dreamed of. Keep going, because your success is waiting for you on the other side of your persistence. Success is often seen as the destination, an endpoint we reach after hard work, determination, and sacrifice. But the truth is, success is much more than a finish line. It's about the daily choices we make, the habits we form, and the consistency we bring to our actions. The way you approach each day, each challenge, and each opportunity ultimately determines how successful you become. This is why building and maintaining positive habits is one of the most powerful ways to set yourself up for success. We live in a world where distractions are everywhere. Social media, emails, news, and endless notifications make it easy to lose focus. It's all too common to start the day with good intentions, but by the end of it, we've accomplished very little. The truth is, our ability to create and stick with good habits is what separates those who succeed from those who struggle. Habits are the building blocks of everything we achieve. The small, seemingly insignificant actions you take every day add up over time, creating a foundation for success. Creating a habit isn't something that happens overnight. It takes time, consistency, and patience. Many of us expect instant results, and when we don't see them, we lose motivation and give up. But the key to lasting change is understanding that habits are built through repetition. They are formed through small, repeated actions over time, and the more consistent you are, the stronger your habits become. It's the consistency that matters, not the intensity of your effort. Imagine you're training for a marathon. You don't go from 0 to running 26 miles in a week. You start small, with short runs, and gradually build your stamina. Each run you complete, no matter how small, adds to your progress. Similarly, success in life is built through small, consistent steps. You don't need to make huge, life-altering changes all at once. The key is to start with small, manageable habits that you can do every day. It's about progress, not perfection. One of the most powerful ways to build a successful life is by focusing on building strong, positive habits. Think about the habits you currently have. Are they helping you achieve your goals? Or are they holding you back? Often, we're unaware of the habits that dictate our daily lives. We go through the motions without stopping to consider whether our habits are serving us or working against us. Take a moment to think about the habits you've developed over time. What are the small things you do each day that contribute to your success? And what are the habits you need to break in order to move forward? The process of building new habits starts with awareness. You have to first recognize which habits are helping you and which ones are hindering you. It's easy to get caught up in the routine of life and simply go along with what's comfortable. But true growth comes from challenging your comfort zone and making intentional decisions about how you spend your time and energy. If you want to create lasting change, you need to replace old, unproductive habits with new, empowering ones. Start small. Begin with one habit that you know will move you closer to your goal. If you want to get in shape, start by committing to exercising for just 10 minutes a day. If you want to improve your finances, set a goal to save a small amount of money each week. The key is not to overwhelm yourself with drastic changes, but to focus on making incremental improvements each day. As you begin to see small successes, you'll be motivated to keep going. Another important aspect of habit building is tracking your progress. Keeping track of your habits is a great way to stay accountable and to see how far you've come. There's something powerful about seeing your progress laid out in front of you. It serves as a reminder of what you've accomplished and encourages you to keep moving forward. Whether it's through a journal, an app, or a simple checklist, tracking your progress helps you stay committed to your goals. Consistency is key, but so is patience. There will be days when you don't feel like sticking to your new habits. You'll face obstacles, distractions, and setbacks. But this is where your commitment to consistency will be tested. Remember, building a new habit isn't about doing it perfectly every day. It's about showing up day after day, even when it's hard. There will be times when you slip up, and that's okay. The important thing is to get back on track and keep going. As you continue to build your habits, they will start to become second nature. Over time, these positive habits will become the foundation of your success. You'll begin to notice how much more productive and focused you are, and how much more progress you're making toward your goals. The beauty of habits is that they work in the background of your life, subtly guiding you toward your desired outcome without requiring constant effort. They create momentum, and before you know it, you've made significant progress without even realizing it. Success, then, isn't about huge, dramatic changes. It's about the steady, consistent actions you take every single day. It's about building the right habits that align with your goals and sticking with them, even when the going gets tough. The more you focus on building positive habits, the more effortless success will seem. Over time, these habits will compound, and you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. Creating lasting success requires intentionality, consistency, and patience. It's about understanding that success is not a sprint, but a marathon. By building strong, positive habits, you are setting yourself up for a life of continuous growth and achievement. So, what habits are you going to start building today? What small action can you take right now that will move you closer to your goals? Start today and let the power of habits guide you to the success you deserve. Every one of us has been given the gift of time, an invaluable resource that no one can take away. Yet, it's the one thing many of us waste most freely. The problem with time is that it moves forward regardless of whether we make the most of it or not. And before we realize it, the days slip through our fingers like sand. We say things like, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'll get to it next week," but tomorrow never comes. Time waits for no one, and this reality becomes more evident the older we get. But what if I told you that you have more control over time than you think? What if I told you that, instead of letting it pass you by, you can harness it and use it to propel you forward? Time isn't the enemy. It's the tool that can take you closer to the life you want. The question is, are you using it wisely, or are you letting it slip away? It's easy to get caught up in the chaos of life. We all have demands on our time: work, relationships, social media, daily chores. And it often feels like there's never enough of it to go around. But time isn't just something we have, it's something we manage. The way you use your time will determine how much you accomplish, how far you go, and how much you grow. The difference between those who succeed and those who fall short often comes down to how they manage their time. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with distractions. Our phones, our email inboxes, the never-ending flow of information, everything demands our attention. It's easy to think we're productive when we're constantly busy. But how often are we truly focused on the things that matter? Time management isn't about being busy. It's about being intentional with where you direct your energy. Consider this. How much time do you spend on things that don't move you closer to your goals? How much of your day is spent reacting to the demands of others rather than taking proactive steps toward your own success? It's time to break free from the cycle of busyness and start using your time with intention. This doesn't mean filling every minute with activity. It means making every moment count. It's about knowing what to focus on and when, and about making the most of the time you have, rather than letting it slip away. One of the most powerful things you can do with your time is to prioritize what matters most. Time is the one resource we all have equally, but how we choose to spend it makes all the difference. The first step is to be clear on your goals. When you know what you want, you can start aligning your time with those objectives. This means saying no to things that don't align with your priorities. You don't have to do everything. In fact, trying to do everything will only spread you thin and leave you feeling overwhelmed. Instead, choose the actions that will bring you closer to your goals and devote your time and energy to those. It's easy to let time get away from us because we don't see the consequences of small choices in the moment. The small, seemingly insignificant actions, like scrolling through social media for hours, procrastinating on important tasks, or letting distractions take you off track, add up over time. If you don't take control of these small moments, they will eventually add up to a significant loss of time. Time doesn't wait for anyone, and every moment you waste is a moment you'll never get back. But don't be discouraged by this realization. Instead, use it as motivation to act. Start now and take control of your time. Building the habit of managing your time well starts with being conscious of how you use it. You need to make a conscious decision to start using your time differently. Start by blocking out time for the things that matter most. Whether it's working on your goals, spending quality time with loved ones, or taking care of yourself, make time for it. Put it in your schedule, just like you would any other important appointment. When you make something a priority, you'll find that you have more time for it than you realized. Another powerful way to use your time effectively is to stop multitasking. It's tempting to juggle multiple things at once, but studies show that multitasking actually decreases productivity. When you focus on one task at a time, you do it better, faster, and with more precision. Time is precious, and when you spread yourself too thin, you're not doing your best work. Instead, focus on one thing at a time and give it your full attention. You'll be surprised at how much more you can accomplish when you give each task the focus it deserves. But managing your time doesn't just mean working harder. It also means making time to rest and recharge. In our society, there's this misconception that being busy equals being productive. But this isn't true. Rest is just as important as work. If you're constantly pushing yourself without taking breaks, you'll burn out and your productivity will suffer. You need to give your mind and body the time to relax so you can come back stronger and more focused. Remember, you're not a machine. You're a human being, and you need balance. It's also important to remember that you won't always be perfect in managing your time, and that's okay. There will be days when you get off track or when life throws you curveballs that mess up your schedule. But don't let that discourage you. Time management is a practice, not a one-time effort. Every time you slip up, use it as a lesson to adjust and do better next time. Be kind to yourself and keep moving forward. Ultimately, the way you use your time is the way you choose to live your life. Time is a limited resource, and how you spend it determines who you become, what you accomplish, and what kind of legacy you leave behind. So, stop waiting for the perfect moment or the right time. That moment is now. Start taking control of your time today and take deliberate action toward your goals. Your time is your life. Use it wisely. Remember, you have all the time you need to achieve what you want. It's not about working harder or faster. It's about working smarter and being intentional with every minute. Time won't wait for you, but you have the power to make the most of every second. Use your time to build the life you want, and in the process, you'll create a future that reflects the choices you make today. So, take a deep breath and start managing your time with purpose. Your future self will thank you. As we reflect on the journey towards success, it's clear that the path is not defined by a single act, but by the consistency of our choices and actions over time. Success is not a destination we simply arrive at, but a process we actively shape through every decision, every effort, and every habit we build. The most successful people in the world are not necessarily the ones who are the most talented or lucky, but those who persist despite setbacks, learn from failure, and continue to put in the effort day after day. It's about the quiet power of small, repeated actions that compound over time to produce extraordinary results. The biggest challenge we face in this journey is the temptation to seek shortcuts or quick fixes. We live in a world that celebrates instant gratification, and it's easy to get discouraged when things don't happen quickly. However, success doesn't come in a rush. It's the slow, steady, and often unnoticed work that builds the foundation for something great. The key is persistence, the courage to keep going, even when the path gets tough, and the patience to understand that meaningful change takes time. The lesson here is simple, yet profound. Success is about making intentional, consistent efforts, even in the face of obstacles. The small choices we make each day matter far more than we realize. Whether it's dedicating time to our goals, forming productive habits, or learning from our mistakes, every step brings us closer to the life we desire. Instead of focusing on how far we have to go, we should celebrate the progress we make along the way. In the end, the journey is as important as the destination. So, how can you apply this to your life today? Start by focusing on the small steps that will get you closer to your goals. Commit to a daily routine that aligns with your aspirations, and don't be afraid of failure. Embrace it as part of the process and let it teach you. Remember, success is not about speed. It's about steady, deliberate actions that add up over time. Keep your focus on the long-term vision and trust that with persistence, you will get there. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What small change can you make today that will help you move closer to your goals? Please leave a comment below with your thoughts, and let's learn from each other's experiences. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to show your support and keep getting inspired. Together, we'll continue this journey toward success, step by step.